lead a delegation that will attend the SACU Summit to be held on the 29th of June in Botswana. The President will use the gathering to meet the SADC Secretariat to discuss the implementation of regional programs. For an update, we cross now live to our reporter Mbali Thethane, who's covering the story for us in Botswana. Good evening to you, Mbali. How are all the preparations going, and how did today pan out?
Thank you. Well, Bongani, preparations are, of course, in full swing, and I can tell you that just entering the specific venue, you could already see that police have already made their way here. They're already setting up, as we expect members of states to come here tomorrow. Now, we do know that the Southern African Customs Union is the oldest union in the world, and of course, it is made up of South Africa. It is also made up of Swaziland, Botswana. It is also made up of Lesotho as well as Namibia. Now, of course, these member states will be meeting here tomorrow and will also be discussing some of their programs. Now, of course, joining us to give us more information of what to expect tomorrow, we, of course, have the DDG of the Trade and Industries Department, Kolelwa. Now, Kolelwa, can you just let us know what can we expect in terms of the program for tomorrow?
Well, this is the 6th Summit of Heads of State and Government, and they are meeting in an annual meeting to discuss the program of SACU. SACU is trying to move towards a development integration agenda, and in order to achieve that, the Heads of State and Government have agreed that we need to review the SACU agreement so that we can implement the development integration agenda. And the aim of the development integration agenda is to ensure that as SACU we are able to implement industrialization and promote cross-border trade. So SACU Heads of State and Government last year in the 5th Summit agreed to review the SACU agreement, which will then facilitate the implementation of the development integration agenda. So tomorrow, Heads of States will receive a progress report with regards to the review. And the review aims to review the revenue sharing formula so that we can create a financing mechanism for the implementation of cross-border projects. But in addition, what we want to do is to review the architecture that is currently in the 2002 agreement so that it facilitates an agile tariff setting mechanism, so that as a customs union, we are able to have an efficient tariff setting mechanism that will respond to the current developments on trade.
And how important is it for South Africa to be part of the specific union?
This is the oldest customs union in the world, as you have said. And of course, what has been defining SACU for now has been the revenue sharing arrangement as well as the common external tariff. So South Africa's participation and active participation in that in SACU aims to ensure that we are able as SACU for the first time in history to move towards implementation of cross-border projects. And this is an ambition that is shared with the Southern African development community, because all the SACU member states are also members of SADC. So it is important that we align ourselves to the implementation of the SADC work program. And you'd be aware that one of the critical objectives of SADC is to move towards industrialization. So SACU, using the SADC industrialization strategy as a basis, aims to develop regional value chains when it comes to industrialization.
And how will South Africa also benefit from this union?
Well, South Africa is one of the most diversified economies in the customs union. So what is important for us in terms of the regional integration agenda is to ensure that through complementarities, we are able to look at how we can collaborate with the other SACU countries in the area of industrial development, as well as infrastructure development. And in our view, this will unlock growth in the region, but also ensure that we are able to change the structure of the SACU economies, because all of us, we are mainly exporters of primary products. So if we focus on industrialization, which is now agreed to be the overarching theme in the new SACU work program, we'll be able to diversify our economies.
Thank you very much. And that is the DDG of the Trade and Industries Department. We are expecting for President Cyril Ramaphosa to be making his way here tomorrow morning. He's expected to land in the morning and then he will be heading straight over here. He will also be joined by the Finance Minister as well as the Trade and Industries Department Minister as well. It's back to you in studio.
All right, thank you very much, Mbali Thethane there in Botswana.